Welcome back to Qualified Dropouts, everyone. This is episode 30. I thought last one was 30, but this one's 30. Yeah, dude, we're cranking them out, man.
It's insane. How long have you been doing it for?
Oh, no, 30 divided by 4, so wait.
No, it's every week we're doing one, so 30 weeks.
Every 4 days?
So 30. Wait, 30?
What do you mean?
No, we're doing it every week.
Yeah, every week.
So 30 weeks.
So 30 weeks, yeah.
30 weeks.
So like
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, just do it. If we're doing one episode a week, that's how many weeks that
because I was saying like 30 divided by 4 weeks, and
I think
4
we
weeks in a
skipped
month,
1
so,
week though.
right? Wouldn't that be the right math?
I don't know.
So it'd be about 6 months. So welcome back to episode 30, guys.
30
What's up?
How many months?
Yeah, how many months?
Why don't you say 30 weeks?
7 months.
There you go.
A little over 7.5 months, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's kind of crazy. Yeah.
That is actually, because a lot of people don't.
We get that a lot. You
People-
got that the other week when they were like, "Wait, you guys are like on episode 28. That's a lot."
Yeah, because
most people stop after like 5 or 6.
Yeah, because he's like,
That
dude,
seems
how many
like a lot.
episodes have you done? I'm like, at the time when I was in Florida, I was like, 20 something or 25. I don't know how many it was. 25. He's like, wait, that's actually a crazy amount.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't make it that
Bro,
far.
there's a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff to uncover. But we have Mr. Senor Ryan Dengler. Ryan Dengler on the
Yes,
Potter.
sir.
He's a good friend of ours. It's crazy because in college, I actually used to watch your content, and I'm like, I'm going to be competing against this guy in nationals because when I was powerlifting, I'm like, I'm going to be we're 2 weight classes below you. I think I would have been in Kyle's, actually.
Okay.
But
66 kg?
He would have smoked me. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Dude, he's deadlifting 7.
Yeah.
He's going for 720 this week is what he said.
and he's like 140 pounds.
Yeah. He just hit 700 like 2 weeks ago. Then he hit 705 last week. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go for the world record this week.
Yeah.
Which the world record, I think, in his weight class, like, is 716 or something like that. So he's like, I'm going to make an unofficial world record. Go
That's
720.
insane.
That's fucked,
Dude, yeah, no, I remember I used to watch Ryan when I was like getting into like the whole fitness industry and just like when I was bored, I'd like look up like popular people. Protein pancakes was like a big thing. You'd always have your like massive plate. It's just kind of weird though, the fact that like I used to watch your YouTube videos and now like you're on our podcast.
Yeah,
like
now-
to me that's weird.
Yeah, now we hang out and shit. It's kind of
Like it's interesting because I would have
Yeah.
never guessed that like in a years down the road I would be hanging out with a guy from Ohio, right? And I'm in Florida, so
yeah.
for anybody watching this, like you'll be surprised at who you meet if you actually like.
I mean, it's
Try
the same
things.
thing with, with you and Aaron or me and Allie. Like, she's from Florida. I'm from
That's
Ohio.
true.
Like, why would we even
Yeah.
Yeah.
get together? Like, Aaron's
Yeah.
from freaking
Alabama.
or whatever. Like, somehow, like,
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
connects.
That's
It's
true.
cool though. It's cool. I think that's like the beauty of also like doing social media, but also like trying and just like putting yourself out there. You just meet so many different people, and then when you start meeting them, you start realizing that there's like really great people out there, and you're just gonna connect with. I don't know, because before it's like a big limiting belief when people were like, "Why are you moving out of Vero?" Is they're like, "You're not gonna have any friends," or like, "You're not gonna meet anybody. It's hard to talk to people when you get out." I don't think it's that hard, but
Yeah.
you just meet some really cool people. So,
But
definitely don't be
if y'all
scared of
didn't know
that.
who Ryan was, y'all are honestly living under a rock because he's been on the internet for so long now.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pass over to him. He'll tell a little bit of an introduction. Then we're going to tackle some questions, mindset, stuff like that. So take it away, Mr. Dengler.
Yeah. So, like you said, I've kind of been doing social media stuff for probably, realistically been doing YouTube videos since my sophomore year of high school. So it's probably been 7-8 years now. But consistently, I've been doing YouTube videos for 5 years, I would say. And yeah, basically, I'm sure you guys might have seen something throughout the past, couple of years or whatever. But I've, did the home gym videos. I was in high school and I was doing, I was playing sports and I was doing like this, had this day in the life video that popped off and it was like,
Yeah, dude, I got like 2 million, didn't
like
it?
2 million views. Yeah, it was like during baseball season, like day in the life of a student athlete. But it was like, I had never seen anyone do a high school day in the life of a student athlete. It was always like college videos, right? So it was a really interesting concept. And that video, for whatever reason, popped off.
That
it was the most
popped, bro.
most like simple video you could possibly do. And editing was really, really basic and everything. And after that, dude, it was just like being consistent with it. And then all of a sudden, I went to Ohio State and I was doing powerlifting and stuff there. And I competed on the powerlifting club at Ohio State. We just went out to Turkey 2 months ago to compete in Worlds. which is really cool. And we do collegiate nationals every year. You were just saying how you were thinking, did you do collegiate nationals or
no, dude? So I got injured the competition before because I wanted to go into a competition a couple months before. I prepped for nationals.
Yeah, you have to qualify, right?
Yeah, to see if I could even qualify, and this was like 6 or 7 months before.
Yeah.
And I got really, really injured before. Like, I couldn't even put a squat bar on my back because my elbow tendonitis was so bad. Like, it was terrible.
You just benching too much weight or what?
Well, yeah, I was benching 4 times a week.
Yeah.
And it was like, I guess it was like too intense for me.
How much were you benching? Like, how much weight?
Dude, it was probably around like anywhere between like 235 to like 255. That was kind of like the range I was doing at. But the thing is, I was only like 170 pounds at the time. Then I got really fat. I was like 185, 188. I was fat. Yeah. But so I did that. I couldn't do that competition, which really pissed me off because I would have won the whole thing because the numbers they were putting up were shit. So that really upset me. And then then I signed up for, ow, buddy, that's my balls. Because there was a qualifier for nationals, right? That you had to sign up. It was something.
You have to do a regional meet.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
And it could be any regional USAPL meet. You just have to hit the qualifying total.
Exactly,
right?
yeah. And the thing is, I didn't sign up for that. My coach did it for me. He was one of the guys on Strength Guys. Okay. He was like, hey, you can hit nationals, do this meet, send me this information. I'm going to sign in for you or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. So it was like, it was 3 or 4 days before, and I got the disease that was going around at the time so bad. I don't even know if it was really the disease, but I was just really sick, and I couldn't go because they were so strict on it.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
And then
Dang.
but I was like, yeah, that's when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna meet Ryan, all the Ohio State guys. And
was that sophomore year or like?
Yeah, sophomore year.
When did you graduate high school? 2018.
Yeah, 2018. We're the same class. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was like sophomore year of college.
Yeah, sophomore year. Yeah.
Oh, that was CNATS was supposed to be in like Penn State, I think. Mm-hmm. So me and Kyle were prepping for that, and and that obviously got canceled.
Yeah.
And everything.
That's the thing. I think it got canceled anyway.
The whole meet got canceled.
Yeah.
Me and Kyle just did a home gym mock meet as a.
Buddy, stop.
Come here.
Stop.
Come here.
Sorry, guys. My dog's being crazy. He usually sleeps during the podcast. There we go.
Lay down.
There we go. He's not gonna lay down.
Nah, he will. He will. You just need
find
to.
a spot.
Yeah, he just needs to find
Right
a
there.
spot.
Lay
There we
down.
go.
There we go.
There we go. So, anyways, we ended up doing a home gym mock meet instead because it got canceled. So that's when I hit 405 for the first time on bench.
Really?
Yeah, I hit that in the home gym. Me and Kyle just went through the whole squat, bench, deadlift, 3 attempts each, like to make up for collegiate nationals.
With a singlet too?
Yeah, we had singlets on and everything. Yeah, we were all prepared for it, and because it got canceled and it was like middle of COVID, and we were still training and stuff. Like all the gyms closed down, but I had the home gym, and I was like, dude, let's send a mock meet. Let's just at least do a powerlifting meet. So
Dude, I remember the first time me
405
putting on a
bench.
singlet.
That's insane.
Dude, I felt
That's
like a
insane.
superhero the first time I put on a singlet, dude. I felt so strong for no reason.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like it's so like compressing. You feel like a spring.
Really?
when
You
you're
could just
squatting.
like That's it. I've never tried it. I've never really power lifted ever. I've always just had hypertrophy.
Don't do it.
I
Don't
mean, I
do
got like pretty good. I mean, I would max out here and there, but I never like power lifted. We lost the light, but so my max bench ever was 335, and then my max squat was I hit 465 for 2 though, and then my deadlift is so bad. My deadlift's like 425, 1. Like I could,
man.
no,
You gotta get that up,
dude. I just can't. It just doesn't feel good. That's the thing. It doesn't feel good. Like squat, I loved, was fine. Bench, I liked. It was fun. Deadlift, I just felt like my body just hated me. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to go heavy. So I'd hit 425, and that's my max ever. My squat's like stupid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then it just hurt.
So
after.
talk a little bit about your story, Ryan, because a lot of people that are watching probably may not know who you are. So like, what got you into everything? We can talk a little bit about CG because I know he's like a big inspiration for your life.
For sure.
So Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, basically, yeah. So like I said, I started honestly making YouTube videos my sophomore year of high school, fitness wise. And it was honestly because like I was watching so many like YouTubers before that, 8th grade and freshman year of high school. So I like learned a lot of stuff about fitness and stuff like that, and like just freaking macros and bulking and cutting, all this stuff. I was like, oh, you know what? Like, obviously I watched Christian, like you were just saying. I watched Christian Guzman. He's a huge inspiration for me, like literally from the time I was like 14 on. And so watching him, I was like, you know what? I could do this too. I was only 15 years old. I was like, I could put up a YouTube video, help some people out, and he can do it, I can do it, right? So, put out some YouTube videos sophomore year. I wasn't super consistent with it. Probably posted every 3 or 4 months or something like that. Not anything crazy, but that was kind of a different thing to do. Not like many high schoolers were, making YouTube videos in general, aside from making like shirtless home gym, fitness YouTube videos in high school and stuff. And it was definitely like a different thing, especially back then. You're talking like 2015, 2016. It wasn't, real
as
popular.
Yeah.
It wasn't real popular to like, have a fitness page, and like not everyone had a fitness Instagram and all this stuff. So it was kind of, it was different, but I was like, at the time I was like, what can I do to like separate myself from everyone, to stand out a little bit and, make myself different. And, initially when I was in 8th grade, like I wanted to start lifting, cause I was like, what can I do to get better at sports? Just like set myself, apart from everyone else. And so I started that, and then I was like, oh, like nobody's doing YouTube either at this age right now. I'm like, I was just always looking for things to set myself apart a little bit. So
do you feel like you ever got like made fun of when you started posting your videos, and how did you deal with that if you did?
I mean, honestly, like I would say most people were pretty like positive about it.
Really?
Like, realistically. I mean, there's always like, you got like football coaches and stuff, saying stuff because they'd never seen anything like that before. Like one of their players, like, posting these shirtless videos, and I wasn't doing anything like cringy or anything like that. But like working out shirtless on YouTube, it's just like, it was a different thing. So like, people always had like some things to say and stuff like that. And, I think people got a kick out of it at first a little bit, and it wasn't anything like negative though, but, definitely just like, I think it was different, and like sometimes it might have been like a little uncomfortable at first. Like, oh look, I'm
100%.
I'm posting freaking shirtless video, especially in high school too. It's like it's a very different time where everyone's trying to find things to judge people on, and so I mean, for the most part, like once I kind of started, once you start gaining
the momentum,
then people start like supporting more. Because it was funny, even when I had like maybe 1,000 subscribers, I didn't know anyone who had 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, right? So it was like,
that's a lot,
So when I got to that point in like junior year of high school, I had kids like, bro, you have 1,000 subscribers, bro. Like people were like amazed by that, and I was like, oh yeah, like I never really like known anyone who had 1,000 subscribers. So that was like huge, So like more positivity and stuff like that. And I remember I've said this on my channel and stuff before, but like I remember we were at like a basketball game. And they were like in the student section, like we're like warming up for the game, like senior year, and everyone's like chanting, like they're like steroids. Like people like kind of like knew who I was and stuff like that, and probably from the YouTube videos and stuff like that. And it was just interesting. I remember going to like some baseball games too, even senior year, and like kids were like saying stuff because they like knew who I was from YouTube, and it was like all around the Cleveland area, like just random schools and stuff like that. So.
That's funny. That's interesting.
Yeah, just really interesting. I think I was like a lot of kids kind of started to like, I don't know, just know who I was from that. Good and bad, positive and negative, but it was really interesting. I didn't really know anyone else doing anything like that, to be honest. So
I kind of want to circle back to like your parents and kind of get their perspective on everything. Like how did they deal with everything? Because a lot of people that are watching right now, that's their biggest crutch, is they're not going to get their parents' support. And I know you're more, from a traditional family, like go to school, get a degree, stuff like that. So how do they kind of cope with all of that about you doing this? I mean, you still graduated college, so
yeah. I mean, if you're saying from like
just like how do they deal with everything? Like, did they support you? Did they not support you? Were they proud of you when you were doing it?
Yeah, I guess if you're saying it from the perspective of like making money and using it as like a job, kind of, I think at first like they just thought it was kind of a a hobby of mine. I liked working out. And, it was kind of just something I was having fun doing. And even like the YouTube videos and stuff like that, it wasn't like I was making a ton of money with it or anything at first.
Hey, when you were in high school though, getting YouTube AdSense, you were probably like, "Oh shit, this is pretty cool."
I remember I made $100.
Yeah.
Like senior year of high school. So I had like, it took a while. I got monetized or whatever. You got like the 1,000 subscribers, whatever it was.
Yeah. And like 4,000 watch hours, whatever it is.
Yeah. And I made like $100 after like 6 months. And I was like, damn, bro, like I just made $100. Like it's crazy. But it also took me like 6 months to do. You do the math. It's like, $17, per freaking month. But I think with the, with my parents and stuff like that, like I said, at first, I was taking care of of everything else I needed to take care of. So, doing the YouTube and this fitness thing, it was like I said, they just saw it as kind of like a hobby and stuff like that at first.
That's good.
It wasn't like I, stopped trying in school, right? It wasn't like I, gave up on school and didn't want to go to college and everything like that.
Buddy is just, that's funny. That's so funny.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, I was taking care of my side of things, either way.
Yeah.
Right? So I was still taking care of what needed to get done.
Yeah.
I think a lot of kids like kind of have the mindset that, they can just, absolutely just quit everything and just do something else, without a plan or without any idea of exactly.
Just think it's gonna actually just like come out of nowhere.
Yeah, like without knowing like how are you actually going to make money from that? How are you actually going to, like I said, no plan or anything like that.
That's
a really good point. Because because even though like for me, I basically like quit my job, had no income, and didn't even have money coming in from coaching. But we also did have plans. Like we were in a group to like teach us how to like scale a business online. But then we also already started building a following, and we kind of had a plan of how we're gonna start making money pretty instantly, and we did. Like we did the first month.
And so you did make a really good point there, because you need to learn how to do it with your regular job or school or whatever before you just jump into it fully, because if you do jump into it fully, eventually the workload's only going to get more and more anyway. So you're really going to need to know a lot about time management
and how to just handle a lot of different stressors that like. Because I even think about like what's going on in our lives today, and I'm like, man, imagine if this applied like to me when I was still working at my fast food, like just old Ian. It's just crazy how much it's not that you get better or like what comes to your life is like less stressful. You're just like bubble of how much you can manage just grows when you constantly add like more factors to like.
And I've always been like that. I've always been trying to do. So, I mean, at some point, I think you need to focus on, oh, shit. I think at some point you need to, focus on, okay, this is what I'm going to do. But until that point, you kind of have to be able to do a little bit of everything, and
that's what we talked about last Potter.
Yeah. No, it's so true. And I remember watching your YouTube videos, and I'm like, dude, I was like, dude, this guy's like, dude, you would be like.
No, that was a big thing. I was like, this guy's doing a lot,
and
bro.
And like all of this. And then you're like, yeah, guys, so. Just got done studying for 4 hours, and then I'm going to go do this, and then I had to edit my video for another 7 hours. And it was just like watching your vlog, I was like, holy crap. You're like, your days were just like wake up early.
They were jam-packed.
Yeah, that's how it was freshman year of college. It was like literally wake up 7 a.m. every day because, 8 a.m. classes. So wake up 7 a.m., but I didn't go to bed till at least 2 a.m. every night, like consistently. Just because it was like I was trying to literally do, a million things in the day, which was good. Like it's good and bad, right? Like you could also like, oh, you're not getting enough sleep, all this stuff. But it was good too, because it was like I literally pushed myself like, harder than I've ever pushed in a million different directions. And just like, that's when the YouTube was doing the best. Like
had a lot of momentum.
And a lot of it too was like even in freshman year, I was trying to just like build relationships too. So I was like trying to make sure I had time to like actually, okay, go hang out with these people and spend time. Like I didn't want to completely isolate myself, right? So I was like, by me staying up till 2 a.m. to do extra work at night, allowed me to have more time during the day to be like, okay, now I can go build relationships with people in college and actually, make sure I'm like getting the college experience, and then make up for it later on. And just like, if I had to, at some point in your life, like you're gonna have to like go through, a part where you're just fucking grinding.
Yeah,
and, like,
grinding and sacrificing time, bro.
Yeah,
That's
time,
the whole point.
Sleep, like, if you have to sacrifice some, time with friends, relationships, stuff like that, like you have to go through that at some point. And that was a big part for me.
That's a good. It feels like a lot of people like prolong that process, but like it's better to go through that in your 20s than it is to go through it in like your 40s or 50s when you're older and you don't have a lot of energy anymore.
Yeah.
So,
but then you have the people saying, "Well, I'm gonna miss out on all these socializing events and whatever." But it's really not. I mean, you did it all, and you still were able to socialize. And
I was always a big, a big person for being able to.
Nice, buddy.
man,
It's not looking good here.
All right, we'll pause it. We'll be right back.
let's dive into time management because low key that question kind of pisses me off. Like we were like, how do you manage time better? And it's like you just get shit done that's important to you. But I guess there's a little bit more to that because even when I say that, people are like, that confuses me. So how did you manage your time in college?
I think in college, honestly, like things are sometimes like easier to manage time because you're like forced to do certain things. Like you have to do, like you don't, I guess, have to go to class, but like, paying for college, I'm like, okay, we got to like go to class, do the homework, you have exams and stuff like that. There's due dates for everything, right? So having that routine did help me a little bit.
That's
honestly.
true. Yeah. That is true.
So that did help, like kind of, I got this exam on Friday, so I know I have to study Thursday night, and like you have to get it done, or else you're gonna fail or something, right?
That's how you manage time. Like that's the thing. Like
that's
school
true.
forces like you to have these time, like these
It forces
hard
due dates.
times. But whenever you don't, if you don't have any hard due dates or hard times like set, you're just gonna take as long as you want on like certain things. So, like for me, something I like to do is like I'll type up like in my notes like 3 of the biggest things I want to complete the next day, and I have to complete them, and that's it.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do now too. Is like write out like 2 or 3 big things that I have to get done. That way, I'm like I used to. It was always helpful like when I wrote things down, but I'd write down like 15 things that I had to do. It was the whole like fucking 5-year plan that I wanted to complete, right?
Yeah.
And there kept being those couple things that you never got to, and I kept writing them down every day. I'm like, all right, look, I'm never gonna do it if I write down 25 million things.
Exactly.
So I've just been trying to keep it a little bit more. Okay, there was 3 things that I need to get done 100%, and I'll get those done.
And that's all you need. People think you need to do like everything like every single day, and that's not like you need 3 big components that are gonna move the business forward or your dreams or whatever it is. And then after that, once you finish it, really what tends to happen is you already have so much momentum going through the day or whatever that you're like, well, I could do this and then this and this. And now that you've already finished what you set, anything extra, you just feel like you did more and you feel way more accomplished. Where when you write down 20 to 40 different things and you only complete 10 of them or even 15, you're going to be like, well, dang, I did a lot, but I didn't do enough. And you just feel like you're reaching for this, like you're just so close to the goal, but you're like, you'll never obtain it. So then you just feel like you've, let yourself down. So that's where I think last year, that's one thing that I did a lot was I overset what I could actually accomplish in a day and thought I could. I'm like, I could do this, and then I could do that, and I could do that. And then it's like, you have so many other different tasks throughout the day that you have to do. So that was like one thing 2 to 3 big things a day. And then I'm just like, all right.
Yeah.
Now everything else is extra.
What's your biggest mistake, Ryan, that you've made?
Biggest mistake.
And this can be anything like wealth, relationships, wrong school, right school.
On social media, maybe
social
you didn't
media,
get
maybe
a part of something or a deal or something.
Dude, I mean, I don't think I've really made any like huge mistakes, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. I'm
my only mistake, or the only thing I always say like I regret is not pushing videos like more videos sooner. Like when I was a sophomore, junior, senior in high school, I posted YouTube videos, and
you just didn't push as hard as you wanted.
Looking back, I was like, dang, bro, I literally could have like made day in the life of like a high school football player. I've never seen a video like that in my life.
Yep.
Neither have I.
And I was like, bro, like that was my whole life too, was like playing football.
Yeah.
You know, even when we, weren't practicing, we were up at the field every single day throwing routes, all this stuff, right? That was my whole life. That's what I was training, trying to get bigger, stronger for. So I was like, bro, if I like literally introduce that to my YouTube, I would say that's probably my only like regret is that I started YouTube, but I didn't push it like I could have earlier on.
It's
like
crazy because it's everyone's.
Everybody who started something and like started accomplishing and like you've obviously like made some pretty cool achievements. You just wish you started it sooner because like man, the potential.
Because then you really, really see the vision. So that kind of leads me to my next question. One, did you always think you would be in this position? Maybe not like in Houston on this podcast, but like you think you would have been in this position? And also, what is your 5-year goal / plan from now?
This position as in like doing social media.
Social media, like not working for anyone else, stuff like that, yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, I honestly had no idea
because
what I was kind of getting into.
Do you remember when we first met at Alpha Elite? We were by the squat rack. You were on prep. Kyle was squatting. Hal introduced me to you. And you were still in school. I think it was your senior year.
Are you talking? Oh, you're talking about last year?
Yeah.
Like I was doing my
we were at Alpha Elite. Yeah, we were at Alpha Elite.
Was that like right before summer shredding? Like
yeah,
right when I was competing in it.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I came up to you and I was like, "What are you doing? Like after school?" And you're like, "I don't know. Like I may get a job." And I'm like, "There's no way he's gonna get a job. There's no way." So that's kind of what I mean. Like, did you think you were always gonna be doing this full time or?
No, honestly,
because you were thinking about getting a job. I could see it in your eyes. You were low-key thinking about it.
I don't think I was considering getting a job after, I'd say like sophomore, junior year. Definitely, I knew I kind of wanted to do this, but I think earlier on, I didn't really have any idea I'd be in this situation really. It was like I said, when I was doing it was kind of like a hobby. Even freshman year of college, like I wasn't making like much money from it at all. And it was funny because even like people would always recognize me on campus. And like I think I had like 30,000 subscribers going into like around freshman year of college.
Really? Damn, you really blew up in college then.
Yeah.
You're like at 250 now.
Well, so I think when I graduated high school, I was at like 15,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And then by the time I got to college, I was at 20 or 30,000. So like people kind of were recognizing me on campus, all this stuff, and it was really cool. But for me, it was still just a hobby. Like it was still just like something I was having fun doing. I loved lifting. I was going to Ohio State. I was like, let me just show people what it's like here. And that's when I started actually posting more on Instagram and stuff. And yeah, at that time it was still like, I wasn't trying to do it as a job necessarily. I was like, oh, if I can make a little bit of side money off this, that'd be awesome. Like I'm
such a jackass, bro.
I'm going to school to be an engineer, and that was like the plan. At the time, that was freshman year, right?
Yeah, you switched right to business.
I switched to business after a year and a half in engineering.
Fucking.
Yeah, so halfway through sophomore year, I switched over, and I really didn't get into the business school until junior year. Still ended up graduating on time somehow, but. Yeah, I would just say that I didn't really expect to be like in a situation like this. I think, I always kind of thought that I was like meant for something greater, kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always thought like I had the potential to, do something on my own.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to just go work at some corporate, job.
You think you're born with that?
Let go.
I mean, I just always like. I don't know.
Because I mean, me and Ian both have that too, where it's like we just, I don't like to say like we feel like we're just better than everyone else, but we feel like we have something inside us where it's like we're meant to do something a lot bigger and greater.
Yeah. No, I think.
So do you think you're born with that, or you think that's like kind of?
Maybe I was born like that. I think that's always just kind of how it's been. Even from sports and lifting and everything early on, like I was always like pushing myself in, obviously like, taking the AP classes in school and doing, 3 sports and lifting, always looking for things like how can I set myself apart? So I was like, I always wanted to be something greater than just, when I.
A white guy.
When I thought about going to just school for engineering and everything like that, it didn't really appeal to me that much. and I wasn't really that excited about it, you know.
All right, he's gonna chill out now. He's gonna get his little spot.
All right, just sit down. But yeah, I agree. But I agree with
sit.
that too. I feel like there is
He's gonna get his little
like I
spot.
just feel
He's
like I
gonna
could.
lay down.
I feel like I was gonna do more. Like I was like
There
I
we
know I'm
go.
gonna find
There.
something.
Now he's good. Now he's
I know.
comfy.
But-
Just don't make eye contact.
But that's like something I thought of too. Is like I don't know. Even when I worked at Chick-fil-A, I was like, man, I just know I'm gonna do something different. Like I always had a feeling. But obviously, I had to work on myself a little bit and figure out how to get out of that like shell and everything. But yeah, I agree. I don't know. I think just my mentality was like, I'm gonna do something different, and it's gonna like shock, and I'm gonna become very successful. But lay down.
Man, you know, I was afraid he was gonna be a dick.
Yeah.
This Potter, because Ryan took his spot.
Yep.
He's
Easy, brother.
He's a baby, so
We might
come
need
on.
to. We might go open your door and maybe go put him in there.
Yeah.
We'll pause this real quick.
Nah, he'll be okay.
He's good now.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
He's gonna be a freaking.
He'll be all right.
This Potter is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's
They're
alright.
gonna-
People
they're
are
just
in it
gonna-
for-
if
people are
they
in for the
watch it,
ride.
they're just gonna see him just biting us and.
Yeah, people are in
But-
it for the ride.
So let's go back to college. Like, obviously, you stayed pretty consistent with it. Started seeing a lot of like success and like it's growing. What made you want to stay in college, even though, like, you obviously were probably given a lot of opportunities during college of like, man, you could drop out and probably make a pretty good living with just doing social media.
Well, I'd say
I remember asking you that question at Alpha Elite because I'm like, dude, why don't you just drop out? Fuck school. Because I'm like completely against college.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, it was firstly because a lot of my social media presence was built around going to college after
That's
a certain
true.
point.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like part of who I was.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah.
And even like right now, I was telling Allie this last night. I was like, it's just like it is kind of weird being out of school now, and it's like, you know, after building your whole like presence around, you know, going to school and being an athlete in high school, and then you know, being in college for 4 years, and that's what you do. Every full day of eating, every powerlifting meet is going towards, you know, Ohio State powerlifting, all this stuff, right? So it's weird kind of being out of that. And for me, it was like, I was like, why would I just drop out? Like, what I would, for me, I was like, what would I do if I dropped out? Like, you know, I was doing so much with the whole school thing and stuff. I didn't have like an amazing plan for even where the channel would go, what I would do. I'd be like, you know, maybe I'd be a little bit bored. Like,
Gotcha.
honestly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes
That makes a lot of sense.
Makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense for sure. So what now, because you said you were kind of like, you feel weird not being in school. What do you think you are going to do now to like maybe feel like you're accomplishing something again, or feel like you're like redesigning who you are? Because it sounds like, like your whole YouTube is based around college, but now you don't have it anymore. So it's like, what are you going to do now to like redesign who you are?
Yeah, that's why I'm curious what your 5-year plan is.
Yeah.
Your goal.
I mean, I think right now it's like I said, it is a little difficult to kind of figure things out, because even right after school, I kind of got right into a bodybuilding prep, and then my whole life was around that for 3 months or whatever. And then I had this powerlifting meet, all that stuff. And then now it's like, you know, I'm trying to figure out how to fill up all my time in the day. I'm trying to still be, you know, the way I was before, like always doing something, always moving. So I'm trying to fill it up with like, you know, some business stuff. I'm doing some coaching stuff now, and just trying to figure out what opportunities I can kind of take now, and, you know, just travel more and keep on changing content and keep things as fresh as possible.
Yeah.
You know, I'm all for, you know, being like you and just sitting in your room and just like grinding all day long. No, I'm all for that. I love that. But I also like to just fucking get out. And,
well, that's me and Ian talk about that a lot. It's something that I like. It's a positive and a negative. Like, it's great that I fucking sit in a corner in my room and grind because I care a lot about my future. But at the same time, it kind of does take away from the social aspect. I'm getting better at it, though. Like this year, or when we moved here, it feels like that's when I started to go out a little bit more. Our first year in Houston, I really didn't leave my room at all.
No, he didn't.
Like, dude,
Right.
like Ian would
my
say,
gosh.
"Come here," and I'm like, "No, fuck off." Hal would be like, "Yo, let's go out." I'm like, "No, fuck off." Like,
I understand not wanting to go to clubs. I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah.
Like, but if it's like a good,
It would be
socializing event
yeah.
with some good. The thing is, though, our friend group our friend group is a good friend group. Like,
Yeah.
it's a good friend group to hang around. Like, it's positive people. We know, like, when we go out or do something, it's not to just like get like, drunk as crap and then just,
Yeah.
wake up like late and no, we grind the next day and stuff. So,
Bobby, come here.
man, he just really wants attention this podcast.
Yeah, he does. It's really
Wow.
annoying.
But yeah, Asher definitely. I think you are getting better with like wanting to do more things throughout the week for sure.
Yeah.
It definitely helps me. Like me having a girlfriend, I definitely have to go do more. So force me out of my bedroom.
Yeah, it was just one of those things though where it's like I just felt so pressured, dude, just to like say no to everything and just fucking grind. I don't know. But I think that's something you're really good at is like a healthy balance between work life and social life.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's a dichotomy between like, how much you should just sit down at your desk and just work and also be able to go out, travel to different places and meet different people. Like, it's honestly, it's a tough balance sometimes because you seem to do like the most, there's like a lot of work you have to do just to sit down and do, but sometimes you got to make those new connections. And
Yeah,
stuff
exactly. That's what I've started to realize.
Be social and like, even like there was like the Zoo Culture opening this weekend. I was like, oh, we should have gone. We could have gone to that, right? That would have been a great, even just social like connecting with people because especially in the social media space too, it's like, even once you've like kind of like made it or whatever, like you have to like.
You still have to keep making.
You have to, you have to stay. Okay, who's the new people? We kind of have to like connect with these people and just like
stay relevant in a sense.
Yeah, you have to just like stay connected with everyone who's doing big things a little bit. Because
I agree.
Obviously, you can only do so much by yourself for so long, so you have to.
That would have been sweet to go to Zoo Culture.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Because, dude, you know what I've really started to realize as like throughout our journey, Ian, is like the memories we're mostly going to remember is going to be with people. It's not going to be with stuff in our business.
I agree, 100%.
So, and that's something that has really helped me in church a lot because they always talk about like people is really really important and stuff like that. And I think it's really helped me in that aspect, and that's why I've been more around you guys. And even with this girl I'm talking to, I'm taking her on dates and stuff like that, and it's like we have a great time. So.
You said it on.
They're never gonna know who it is.
That's true. That's true.
That's one thing with me.
Asher's been on a date.
I'm completely against posting girls on my social media page. It's just out of respect for them. They're never gonna know who it is.
Yeah, interesting. I think they'll eventually know.
The only time, maybe, possibly, because sometimes my content does relate back to relationships. She may be on possibly a YouTube video talking about.
I agree. I think you'll not accidentally, but I think you'll put her on your YouTube or like an IG story here and there.
Maybe.
I think you will.
Well, that's what me and Allie, like, we don't really try to post each other that much.
Yeah.
Because like I literally see her every day anyways. So it's like people don't really need to know that we're together. And like, and honestly, like you see like all this, like, couples on social media and stuff, like you don't really even need to see that. Like half the time you're like, okay, we get it, you're with them.
Yeah,
that's great.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's great. You know what I mean? It's
dude,
like,
well, Aaron and I will we'll still have people be shocked that I'm like I'll tell people like, hey, I'm in a relationship. Like, wait, when did you get a girlfriend? And somebody asked me in December this past year, and that was our 1 year anniversary. That's like a week after.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, you have a girlfriend? I was like, yeah, I've been dating for like a year. They're like, what? Like, that's insane. And so like it is crazy. Yeah, some people just post it on there. We talked about this last week.
Well, sometimes it seems like forced. Like even
exactly.
I'm just saying in general, it seems like sometimes when you see these crazy like these just long paragraphs and these crazy big posts about significant others and stuff, it just seems like almost kind of forced. It's like you're already with them so much, and you tell them how you feel, all this stuff. It's like, what exactly are you doing that for?
Yeah.
You feel like
you expressing your love for them on a post, like, does that really actually show your love for them?
Yeah.
Like, do other people need to know how much you love them? I don't know.
In my opinion, I mean, for some people, maybe, but a healthy relationship, in my opinion, bro, it all goes to the acts of giving. Like, how much do you give? How much does she give back to you? Like, that's how you really, in my opinion, how you express. Did he?
I think he farted.
Dude, he lays some stinkers, bro.
Sorry, Ryan.
It's pointed towards me too.
Got a steamer.
But dang, that's crazy. Okay, that's awesome though. That's awesome. So,
all right, last question, then we'll wrap it up. So, this is going to be a difficult question for you.
oh, I have a
Ryan.
question after that from
It
somebody.
was that question.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
we
go ahead.
can go longer, man. I don't care. We just keep talking.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I just have a I have
Unless
a
you
lot.
got shit going on.
Yeah, I have.
Unless you got to get back to work, man.
Yeah, I
I
have
can run it. Freaking Ryan and I can run it. But
Yeah, y'all
we got like 30 minutes. We can keep going.
Yeah, I got a live stream at 3. So,
Yeah.
but you want me to ask again?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
I don't
so
remember. I have to pull up my phone and.
the question is, what makes you different?
What makes me different?
Do you need
Like-
more
like,
context
for-
here?
for example.
I'll just answer. I'll just do the whole thing. You ready?
Yeah,
So the whole question
yeah,
is, what's the one thing you feel like that makes you different from everyone else?
yeah.
What's the one thing, huh?
Yeah.
Because obviously you see these people on social media now that are basically clones of each other. Like these, 17 and 18-year-olds that are trying to grow on social media, but they all post the same stuff, which is great. I hope people continue to chase their goals and dreams, but what makes you different from another 23-year-old that's trying to grow on social media?
I think what makes me different is I've always tried to be versatile, and that's what I always try to do. Like I said, even with school, you're like, why didn't you drop out? And it was like, for me, I probably could have dropped out, and like I said, a lot of it had to do with my content was based around school. I had a really good group of guys up at Ohio State, and
You did have a squad, bro.
Yeah,
You, Kyle, Stan, who was it, Jacob?
Yeah,
And then,
I was living with Jacob, Kyle,
Yeah.
Johan was there.
Johan too. Johan's hilarious, bro.
Yeah, no, I love Johan. It was
Yeah.
it was a great group of guys. And Stan was up there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like that was a huge reason also to why why would I just why would I leave that?
Y'all's
Also,
group took over the internet for a minute.
yeah, we were like the Ohio State boys, you
Yeah.
know, and I felt like I was kind of like the leader of that.
Yeah.
I kind of like
No, you definitely were.
I
100%.
assembled a team of
100%, yeah.
assembled a team
It was
of
dope.
guys.
Yeah,
at
it was
Ohio
cool.
State. But yeah, like what makes me different is that I've always tried to be versatile with things, and just like I didn't want to just be focused on one thing. I wanted to be able to do a lot of things. Like I wanted to be able to go to school, get good grades, but also be one of the best powerlifters in the country, one of the biggest guys, biggest natural physiques on the internet or whatever, and just be able to do like so many different things and do it well. Like I kind of wanted to be like the Swiss Army knife a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's what made me different. Especially when I was first starting off, it was like, oh, how does he do so much stuff and so many different things? Because a lot of times lifters, they be like some meatheads or whatever who aren't very smart or whatever. And I was like, I wanted to be able to do kind of all of it. I was like this engineer when I went into it, so I was like taking all these tough classes and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this guy's doing engineering and he lifts crazy weight and he does this, and it was like that's what made me different. And I want to keep on trying to figure out how to do
How
that.
to continue to be different.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so I'm like, I'm looking at doing this half marathon again in
Dude,
April.
I think that would fit you well, dude. Started to run a little bit
Yeah.
because shit, when we were in San Antonio, you were one. I was thinking about getting into running. We were just talking about it.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I think you impact a lot of people doing
Nick
that.
Bear has done a good job with that like hybrid thing, but I'm like, I also bring like even like a different aspect to the table where it's like, if I started running, obviously like I haven't ran nearly as much as like Nathan or Nick. I haven't done a marathon, did a half last year, but if I did that and I was lifting a lot of weight too in powerlifting, that'd be cool, and have a great physique. And I mean, I don't know what else I could do, but I've always tried to keep up with, even like I'll go run routes and throw the football around and just show that, hey, like you can do more than one thing. You can be capable of doing many different things and doing them pretty well. Obviously, you're not going to be the best powerlifter in the world if you're running however many miles per week. Like it doesn't make sense. If you're going to be the best at something, you have to like solely 100% focus on that. I get that. But for me, it was like, I always wanted to be like good at a lot of things, you know, not like top, you know, number one best necessarily, but I wanted to be like, look, I'm a very competitive powerlifter. I'm a very, you know, I'm trying to go for my pro card in bodybuilding. Maybe I won't be on the Olympia stage. Maybe I won't win the Mr. Olympia, but like I want to get my pro card. I want to be like a very top 1% guy in like a lot of areas.
Yeah.
So
No, that's
awesome. No, I think you definitely can. I think you have like the drive and just like just the passion to actually stay just do it. Like you just do it. You're like,
no, it's
like,
always just been fun. You know what I mean? To just like push yourself in some different areas and stuff. Like I said, if you want to be the best at something, you have to, you know, you got to focus on that one thing. You know, that's why I consider like, oh, should I just do bodybuilding and try to get the pro card, see how far I can take it? But I'm like, you know what? I still like lifting heavy weight. I still like doing my strength stuff. And I did like doing, you know, my running during prep and stuff like that. And
I think you could still get your dude. They fucked you so bad. You should have gotten your pro card anyway. Like I'm gonna be honest, you should have gotten that shit.
I guess I needed a little more conditioning or something like that.
There's no way you don't get it next time around.
Yeah,
no chance.
I'm trying to get a little bit bigger, and then next time just come in, you know,
more conditioned.
Yeah, even more conditioned. Which this time was the most conditioned I've ever been.
You look great, dude.
I wasn't the most conditioned on the stage, which I
exactly.
didn't know what they were going to look for. Honestly, I think sometimes
it is size and fullness, and sometimes it is like
like I think I was the biggest one on stage, but you know, I guess men's physique now they want you to just to be looking absolutely like on death row when you go up on stage. You know what I mean? Looking like you're about to fucking collapse.
Yeah, jaws or like skeleton face.
Yeah, my perception was like that men's physique you didn't need to be like as lean, and I thought you could show up there like a little bit bigger, a little bit fuller, because you know you don't need to bring in glutes and quads and everything.
So you can have a little bit higher body fat.
Bodybuilding, right? So I was like, you could show up a little bit higher body fat, but I guess not. I guess I gotta get like absolutely peeled.
It's crazy. It is definitely a crazy sport, and bodybuilding's hard. Bodybuilding is
it's interesting, man.
It's
very
like,
interesting.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. But
if y'all want to run a part 2, y'all can keep running it. I just got to get to this live stream. Do y'all want to do a part 2 or what?
We can keep going. We can keep track. Yeah.
Okay. It's all good. Yeah, whatever you want to do, man.
Yeah,
all right. Well,
you gotta take care of your business,
so we
man.
can do that.
But, I'm hopping off, but part 2 is going to be up in 2 or 3 days. But that's going to be
like part 1, and then have 2
I'll just post like 2 or 3 days later. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys took some value from this,
I could come back, you know, like next week or something too. If you guys want, if you guys want to run that, whatever
you guys want.
Well, Ryan's gonna be on it next episode, whichever it may be.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank y'all for watching, and if y'all gained some value from that, share it to someone.